Okay, how to be different in your market, part 2. Um, Hopefully you watched part 1. If you haven't, go back and watch it. but um, we have found out that the industry, HVAC, electric, and plumbing, we have done a horrible, horrible job at selling our knowledge. So 20 to 30 years ago, guys like Jim Abrams and people like that, they used to send somebody out for, let's call it $59. Well, that was 20, 30 years ago. That'd be like $250 today. Like, if I send a technician to a home and the customer would pay me $250, and then the repairs on top of it, I'd probably be able to run a pretty good business. The problem is if somebody calls your business now and you tell them it's $250 to come out, unless it's an emergency, they're probably going to hang up and call somebody else, right? So that doesn't work anymore. So we can't necessarily qualify people over the phone. We have to start qualifying people in the home. And how you do that is by selling your knowledge. So the most valuable asset your company has is your technician's knowledge, which means we need to start charging for that. Okay, so when your technician goes to a house, doesn't matter the trade, 5 things. Their goal is to do 5 things. The first thing they need to do is build trust. Okay? No customers will buy from you if they don't trust you unless they're insanely desperate. 2, value. We need to build value in the home. That's a beaten term. That's a whole different training all in itself. There's many ways to build value. The easiest way to build value is to get rid of the most common fears every customer has when they call a new company. Again, totally different training. 3, urgency. This one gets missed a lot. Most technicians I know are trustworthy. They're usually very good people and they really do have the customer's best interest at heart. Most of them do build value, or you as a company already build value by branding and things like that. But the urgency is almost always lacking. Very, very hard on urgency. That's got to happen, okay? I call this T, V, and U. Trust, value, and urgency. Okay, then the next thing we got to sell is what we call a single job or a diagnostic. Okay, and again, doesn't matter the trade. What's funny is, I started off in electrical. I'm an electrician by trade. We have been selling diagnostics in the home since 2004. So in electrical, this is very common to sell a diagnostic in the home. When I brought this concept to plumbing and HVAC, people thought I was completely nuts. But I proved it worked, and now it's almost a recipe for a prescription for success now. Because we got to be different in the market, we got to get paid for our knowledge, and once we sell this diagnostic, generally we lock the customer in with us. That's my padlock. Really bad drawing. But we lock the customer in with us. Statistically, if the customer spends money with us, even if it's a lower dollar amount, statistically they won't price shop us after that. So you gotta lock this in. This is usually between $300 and $1,500. All right, this isn't a huge ticket. I mean, $1,500 could be, but generally that's not a big ticket, right? Now, once this is locked in, and you're selling your knowledge to find the root cause of the problem, HVAC, static pressure, superheat, subcool, electrical voltage, drop calculations, plumbing, water quality, water pressure, gas leaks, right? When we find these vitals and we prove to the customer that the system is broken or more broken than the customer thinks, they will buy a diagnostic. And by the way, these are prepackaged. I already have them built, and they come with some minor repairs. Okay, then after that's sold, then step 5, we want to sell a 5-star package. All right? And these usually are $50,000 down to $5,000. Okay? $50,000 to $5,000. And you might be like, oh yeah, Kent, you can't just go into people's homes and propose a $40,000, $50,000 job to them. You can if the customers are paying you for it. This is what you guys don't understand. You're going into homes proposing maybe $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 jobs. You're scared shitless because you're doing it for free and you're worried that the customer's going to get pissed off and kick you out of the house. And you know what? You should be worried. However, if you flip the script and you do things differently and you sell this diagnostic, now they're paying you to give them this price. It's very difficult for them to get upset when they're paying you to do it. This is the key. Plus, you lock them in with you and you take your competition out at the knees. Direct message me if you want to know how to do this, and I'll teach you and your company how to do it.